Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I'm back on the streets of Nanning, everybody, in southern Guangxi Autonomous Region, mainland China, riding my e-bike around, and yes, I'm not wearing a helmet. You know, I get the anti-China tubers out there, and their viewers. And I don't watch their videos because it's just not interesting. But I do read the comments and all of the people bashing Gweilo. Oh, he's drunk 24/7. Well, you know, you guys think too much of me. I don't think I could drink 24/7. It's just one of those things. A guy's got to eat. A guy's got to sleep. You know, the first thing you wake up in the morning, you want breakfast. You don't want a beer. Well, some people would want a beer or a whiskey or whatever. But no, I'm not quite that hardcore. But thanks for giving me the benefit of the doubt. But when I read these comments, I get a kick out of it. I really actually do get a kick out of it. The hate out there. But you know, the idea that these people take the time to make videos about me tells me that my videos are actually getting through. They're making a point, and these other people think that they have to counter that point. So, and you know, that's exactly why I make these videos. As I said in a recent video, I try to show the good part of China. I show you the streets. I show you the real life. I don't show you the macroeconomics and the macro political stuff. You know, I could give a rat's ass what Xi Jinping and his boys are doing today in Beijing. I really don't care. I don't care about most of the stuff that goes on in the stratosphere of political rhetoric and the fighting between countries. No, I don't care. I do see some of the bad stuff in the States. I do see Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia, the video that went out there the other day, and people say, oh, that's a really terrible thing. America's a really bad place, but they're missing the point. They should be looking at the people on the street and saying, oh, those poor people are suffering. Why isn't their mental health? Why doesn't the government in the United States deal with this in a manner that helps these people not only get off the drugs, but get off the streets, have a real life? Because if you're in the position those people are in, their lifespan is probably less than 2 years on drugs like that. You just can't survive. You don't eat, you don't sleep, and you know. But they'd rather attack somebody like myself. They'd rather attack somebody like Matt from Gweilo Nation. They'd rather attack somebody like Daniel Dumbrell or Alex Absolute. They'd probably rather attack somebody like Lee Barrett and go over to Lee's channel and stick a couple bucks on his Patreon account or his WeChat account. He's having a little bit of a health problem, and I think he could use a little bit of support. So not only give comments in support of Lee, but maybe drop a couple bucks on his thing there, lessen the hit, because you guys know as well as I do that Lee works on his channels, his YouTube channels and his Chinese social media channels. That's how he makes a living. So you know, go over there. They'd rather harass somebody like that than actually look at what's going on around them, because the hate for China and anything Chinese trumps anything that any reasonable person would think and understand about a situation. So these guys are not. Well, one of the comments. Oh, somebody lost their pedal off their bike. One of the comments that I noticed there, I can't remember who it was from. They said, Corey, don't kill any more of your dogs and take care of your warrant. That would be a good idea. I made a video here not too long ago too. Well, I guess it's a couple months back now, where I predicted why Corey and Winston had left China, and it all came down to having to do their criminal record checks. And you know, after seeing what Alex from Reportify Media had to go through on criminal record checks coming into China and all this other stuff, getting visas, work permits, whatever, I'm guaranteeing that was the problem. They didn't get kicked out of China, but they had to go renew their visa. To renew their visa, they had to get a criminal record check done in their own country. If Corey went and got his record check done in his own country, he would be in prison right now because he didn't do his community service after he's found guilty of 3 counts of abusing animals. Abusing animals, you might think that he just starved them. I'm sure there was something else going on there, but that's just between Corey and his dogs. Winston, well, Winston would have to go back to South Africa. Well, that would be a shit show, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? So, but back to the moral of this video, other than cruising around. See over here, Nanning Zoo, and a guy on a bike, a rental bike. Actually, you can rent those things for like 20 to 40 cents Canadian or 15 to 25 cents American, and you can drive them around town. And when they run out of power, I don't know how they find out whether the battery's dead. They must have some electronic stuff that tells the company to come change the batteries. But yeah, it's that easy to get around, and there's a subway stop where you just go downstairs, and for anywhere between 2, 3, 4 RMB, so under a Canadian dollar, or like under 65 cents American, you can probably get anywhere around Nanning. It's the way it is. But again, back to the main topic of this video. You know, the idea that these people make videos about not only my channel, but the other channels that are pro-China or pro our life in China. We see the bad things that China does. We're not stupid people. They would tell you that we're stupid people and too drunk to maneuver, but or shilling, or getting paid, or this, Wu Mao, shilling. How much you get paid for this video? All of these things, we've heard it so many times. Only the rookies that make those type of comments anymore, because hey, they're rookies. But as they do this, as they make these videos, they promote our channels. So thanks, guys. We appreciate you promoting our channels. They make us a bigger household name, not just in the anti-China world, but the pro-China world, because there's a lot of pro-China people, or people that see the word China come onto your channels. And yes, as soon as you start talking about a Gweilo 60, or a Lee Barrett, or a Jayo Nation, or Alex Absolute, or Blondie, or Nico, or the Mexicanos in China, or even for Mubi, yes, China Teach Brand, they go to those channels and they check them out, and 9.999 times out of 10 they will like that channel better than your channel, because all you're doing is spouting hate. But you have led them to our channels, and we all thank you very much for that. We appreciate your patronage. And about patronage, here in a I don't know, 3-4 weeks we're doing some more children's Patreon account stuff, and we're actually putting fresh water drinking systems into schools in southern Guangxi Autonomous Region. These poor children have been drinking out of a 10-gallon water pail where you just scoop the water out. It's not very sanitary. So that's a video that's going to be coming up here in the near future. So stay tuned to that one. That one's going to be an interesting one. That's a feel-good video, as I always say, we could not do this stuff without the Patreon. So whatever you do, don't forget to put a couple bucks on the Patreon account. It is for a good cause. And then these turds try to attack my lifestyle. Like, seriously, if any of these fuckers would have even a close chance at having a life like I do, I travel all over the world. I travel constantly. I drink beer with my buddies. I go to barbecues. I have fun. I have homes in 2 different countries, and we're looking at a 3rd country because Japan is looking pretty nice. You know, they got 10 million empty houses in Japan. 10 million empty houses because the population is is shrinking in Japan. So these 10 million empty houses are going for a song and a dance. Sure, after you buy it, you'll never be able to sell it. So if I do buy one, and my daughter Miranda is watching, when she comes over to visit me in China, then we're going to go to Japan, because she's been studying Japanese for a couple years now, so she can help me buy. And out of YouTube money, really, seriously, I've never spent a penny from my YouTube money that has ever come in off Google LLP. I've never spent a penny off my Chinese social media accounts. I've never spent a PayPal penny. I've never spent a WeChat penny. Like, seriously, I'm self-sufficient in cash, and always have been. So for all of you people that think that Gweilo is just a poor guy that likes cheap beer, well, I may like cheap beer. I just think that beer is beer, and that's the way it is. I come from Canada. Canadians will drink damn near anything. But, you know, if you think Gweilo is poor, well, good on you as you go back to your job on Monday morning, and I'm riding around mainland China on my e-bike having a great time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's Gweilo style. So I'm thinking that a lot of these people that make these comments on these, let's call them turd channels, are basically jealous of other people. They're keyboard warriors. They're living in their aunt's house. You know what I mean, Corey? They're living in their mom's basement. They're living in places that they wish they weren't. They don't have jobs, or they have jobs that they don't like. They, you know, they just don't have a happy life. And you can tell by people that have a happy life, like yours truly, Gweilo 60, and all of the other YouTubers here in China that have a positive attitude. They just don't have that, you know, they're not in that nice place. You know what I mean? And that's probably why they are like they are, I would imagine. I know that the dog killer, you know, how screwed up in your head would you have to be to starve your dogs to death and sit there and watch them, and then have them live with you, dead and decomposing in your bedroom, to the point where the neighbor has to call the police because it smells so bad. You know what I mean? How screwed up does your mind have to be in that position? Okay, now you look at, like, what's his name? Hand, last name Hand. I can't remember his first name. He's in Taiwan. Boy, she's noisy here, eh? And you know, somebody like that gets hooked up with Corey, knowing, building subways, guys, building subways, getting hooked up with somebody like Corey, and thinking that's a good decision. Like Winston promoting somebody like Corey and thinking that's a good decision. You know what I mean? Something like Zoltan up in Jilin and still in Jilin, giving B-roll to people that are promoting sedition in mainland China against the Chinese government. You know, if there's anybody from the Chinese government watching this video, yes, you should go and you should have a talk with that boy, because he is helping people promote sedition. And then he goes on a video saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do that anymore." Well, you know, the difference is, Zoltan, that once you commit a crime in a country, well, you're guilty of that crime, and when you admit it on a video, there's really no going back type thing, eh? So if you kill somebody and then admit it on a video and say, "Well, I'm not going to do it again," well, it just doesn't hold much, you know, anything, you know, much air, much anything. So consider that a warning, I guess, for your life here in China, because you just can't do that. But you get all of these people, they do these things and they don't think there's any repercussions. They don't think that the world is going to come and sort of grab them by the nuts and turn them inside out. Well, you can't break the law in China, as a lot of people have found out. You have to get criminal record checks. You have to, oh, this is sort of neat, hey? I don't just go down the big roads. I go down the little roads. And these girls have got their groceries and their fruit, and they're going to go cook for their husband. But, see, so the whole moral of this video is that there's a lot of people out there that are just not happy with the pro-China YouTubers. But they're not really pro-China YouTubers. They're the tubers out there that tell you about their daily life here in mainland China. If we get sponsored on a CGN trip, we say we're on a CGTN trip. We don't try to hide it. And then after we tell you this, then these turds and their viewers try to make something big about it. Hello. I try to make something big about it like it's a secret. Well, it's not a secret, guys. We already said so. We already told our viewers, and if you haven't noticed, our viewers are a lot. Your viewers are very small. And so like regurgitating what we say just shows how irrelevant you are. It's one of those things. Why do you do it? Make a video. There's a good one. All of you anti-Chinese tubers, make a video about why you bash China tubers that are just living their life in China, having a good time. Tell us what's wrong with your life. Tell us why you're so angry. Tell us why you do it, and try to be honest. And you know, there's a lot more out there than I probably see, because as everybody knows, I don't watch YouTube. I should watch more of Daniel's stuff, because Daniel is a silver-tongued little devil, you know, and he's smart. He's got a very intellectual mind. You look at what Lee and Ollie do. They're as honest as the day is long. They just tell you how their world works. And you look at Alex Absolute. He's just a guy with a wife and kids in China, having a life. I was not looking at those girls. Having a life that's different than other people. You look at Blondie and Nico and Mexicanos in China. They're all having a life that's just a little bit outside the ordinary. They picked up a camera and they're showing you and the world what their life is like, and I think that's a good thing. I think that shows people how the world works in a different area, and maybe some of those misconceptions that you've had about mainland China can be put to rest, just for the fact that most of them aren't true. These guys are drinking baijiu. Baijiu? How? Yeah, these boys are drinking baijiu. Well, in the village, that's what it's like. But you know, the idea is that we're all having a good time. And then, how's that Forrest Gump thing? I'm sorry for wrecking your Black Panther party. You know what I mean? So these turds come in and they try to wreck the party. Well, they really can't, because we just don't acknowledge. And I think, you know, and I think that has a lot to do with it. A lot of these guys tried to get our attention in the past when they were starting their tube channels, and we just wouldn't acknowledge them, because you never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. Fuck, I'm starting to sound like Forrest Gump here. And so we sort of stay away from people up until you sort of know which side of the fence they sit on, what kind of characteristics they have, and if they're good or bad people. You know, are they there to take advantage of their position, or, you know, all of these different things. So I think that pissed a lot of them off, and so be it. I know Zoltan, he tried to get a hold of me a number of times. You notice I don't use these guys' YouTube channel monikers, just for the fact that I won't promote these guys, not even a little bit. Why not? Because they're turds, and they deserve to be treated like turds, and that's just the way it is. That's a Gweilo thing. That's Gweilo style. And if they don't like it, well, they can just make more bad videos about me and promote my channel more, and make my name more of a household name than it was before they made those extra videos about me. Anyway, and that, my friends, is another video from Gweilo 60. Yeah, I saw that. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And whatever you do, guys and girls, don't forget to put a couple bucks in that children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye now.